And as January winds down, we are looking ahead to American Heart Month, which is in February. It is a time to learn about heart disease and consider the possible risks that you could face or those close to you could. According to the American Heart Association, cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women, causing 1 in 3 deaths each year. In recognition of First Friday in February is Wear Red Day for Women. It's also the date of Coffee and Conversation on Women's Heart Health. The free event is from 9 to 10 a.m. at the Oak Grove Classroom in Poplar Bluff Regional Medical Center. Nurse practitioner will lead an open group discussion about heart disease risks, prevention, and warning signs to watch out for. The event is free, just have to sign up online. And here in the studio, we have Leona Bergen, and talk a little bit about this. You know, as women, we tend to put ourselves last. You put the kids first, you put the husband second sometimes, and everybody else seems to come before you pay attention to your own health. Is that one of the drivers for women putting things off, let's say?
It is one of the biggest things that we see, and plus a lot of times women don't have always the same symptoms as a man. Now, with that being said, women need to be able to identify something different in their own body than what a man would identify. But we do have a big tendency to put ourselves on the back burner, put our family, our home, and our husbands way before our own health.
What are some of those symptoms? Because, you know, you hear about the men, they have the arm and the chest pain, and that's not necessarily what manifests in a woman, right?
Well, not always, but we're all individuals, and we need to look at the uniqueness of each individual. So women can still have that pressure in the center of their chest, making them short of breath, making them feel bad. But sometimes women, because of our makeup, we tend to ignore that, and we don't have any pain at all, or that's what we hear when they present. Sometimes they'll also present with jaw pain, back pain, but again, each person is so unique. You have to delineate what exactly are they telling you.
Right. So what are things that you absolutely should not ignore? A lot of those symptoms, you could just say, oh, I have heartburn, or oh, I must have lifted something and hurt my back.
So the biggest things you shouldn't ignore, again, is that feeling of change in yourself, #1. #2, shortness of breath that's new, nausea, vomiting, sweating. All of those things start making you a little more anxious, or you just have the feeling that something is not right. Those should bring you to ER and come visit us so we can help you.
And what types of things are people, women specifically, going to be learning at this event that you're having?
So usually what I like to do is have all the different women come in, and I ask them who has had heart disease before, because again, somebody that's already had a problem can better explain it even than I can. I take care of patients every day that has heart disease, men and women both, but it puts a different perspective of it when that person is actually relaying what their symptoms were, how they felt, because they actually experienced that event. And sometimes that helps other women to know that they're not alone.
Also, they can probably put it in non-medical language, where as a nurse or a doctor, they tend to talk up here, and regular people are like, but this just hurts, you know?
Correct. And also they can tell them what their experience was from coming into ER, going to the cardiac cath lab, and even the other events that occur afterwards, and how important it is to follow up, and how important it is to advocate for their own health care.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And they can say it better than I can. I mean, I'm getting older and I have health problems too, but I don't know what each of them have been through. And sometimes when you have a group of women that can explain what they've been through, it gives the rest of the group a better understanding of what to look for and how to approach the events they have.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're all individuals, so the more you can hear about it, the better. So thank you for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I really appreciate this.
Sure. Well, you can be part of Coffee and Conversation on Women's Heart Health Friday, February 6th. You can find a link to register for free at kfes12.com after the show.